Hello everyone, I'm back with another video. So this is, I decided instead of doing 3 videos, I decided just to close it out with just talk about the final section and then go into like the review of it and then what book I'm reading next or like what library book I'm reading next. Alright, so I'm done with the final section of the Cthulhu casebook, Sherlock Holmes and the Highgate Horror by James Lovegrove. This is actually officially the final book in the series. At the very end of it, he basically says that, he's stepping away from it. He's stepping away from Sherlock Holmes, which is kind of sad, but I understand, he doesn't want to write any more books under this and everything. So we have a final showdown between Holmes, Watson, and this entity that has been essentially in the background since the beginning. And it turns out that these creatures do in fact exist. And this actually takes place in the last section takes place in 1918. And you can tell, well, not right away, but as you get closer to the end of it, you can tell that they're moving away from like the horse-drawn buggy to the car, which, is interesting. So there is this battle, not just of like strength, but of like wits and of intelligence. And I loved it. I absolutely loved the last section. I thought it was an interesting ending to the book. I really liked the characters and the monsters that were in it, and even the characters that were bad were interesting. So all in all, section 8 ended it on a really beautiful note, and I highly enjoyed it. So for what I want to say for people that have not watched my other videos with this book is about Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. This is essentially the last story that Watson talks about. He has cancer, though at the very beginning of it you don't know that he's got cancer. At the very end of it you do find out he has cancer, which is sad. And so he's recanting this case that him and Holmes investigated. It started off with these bodies that were being stolen and the person behind it and everything, and then we go on to people just stealing things, and then we move on to the former whaler. And then we go to the guy that kidnaps women to do some freaky, weird things. And it just continues on and on and on until we get to the final showdown between Holmes, Watson, and this monster, which is a woman, or pretends to be a woman. As I said earlier, I loved this book. I could not stop reading it. It was so good. James has, and even reading the Malefactations of Sherlock Holmes, which I will tell you something, this man wrote a lot of books with Sherlock Holmes in it. It's interesting about how like these creatures, they were the ones that brought about like tuberculosis and the Spanish flu. And there's mention a little about war and plague and things like that. All in all, this book was so good, and I'm like, and even though I said I was only going to do like 200 pages a day, I ended up ripping through this book very, very quickly. It was just such a great book. I gave it 5 stars on Storygraph, and definitely worth it. So the next book that I'm going to be reading is another library book, and it is Murder Buys a T-Shirt by Christy Fifield. How do you pronounce the name? Fifield? Anyways, this is the first book in hold on a second. A haunted souvenir shop mystery. And there's a parrot in it. So this will be the next one, and I should be done with it in a couple of days because I really want to get to that nice thick book that's over there. So yeah, so it is official. I have, not counting this book, I've got 2 more books to go. So yeah, I will officially be done with all the library books that I checked out. Thankfully, I'm down to the last 2 before they are due, and yeah. Alright, so I'm going to end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time.